You guys hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Good evening. We're going to call the Village Board meeting of February 8th, 2022 to order. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Lana, roll call, please.
Mayor DeBold,
Here.
Trustees Brockman,
Here.
Carroll,
Here.
Chapman, Kirkland, here, Lambert, and Luciano.
Here. And for the record, our attorney is participating through video as needed as well, so he is on the line. All right, moving on. Are there any citizens wishing to address the Village Board this evening?
Yes, I just have a complaint.
That's fine. Can you please just state your names so the clerk can put it in the record,
Yes,
ma'am?
my name is Nancy Hoyden, and I'm just here to complain about my neighbors next door. It's an American Homes for Rent, and the renters, I don't know what they do. They board people. They have a halfway house. I don't know what's going on, but it's constantly different young people in there all the time. They have anywhere between 8 and 10 cars out there per night. Now there's 5 today. Usually there's 2 of them with flat tires. Somebody, says something evidently. They try to fix them. They put little jacks underneath them to make it look like the tires aren't flat. They have 8 dogs, possibly 9. I cannot go by my back door or out my house. And this is what I hear constantly.
If you don't mind, I'm going to have you speak with our building department. He handles code enforcement. I don't want you to give your address over the broadcast, but if you please leave it with him, we will be certain to follow up.
And they were notified before. They had chicken wire up for fencing. The village made them take it down. Now they have lattice with stakes in it. I don't know if that's good or what, but that's not my biggest complaint. And the other day, with all the snow, they park at the end of my driveway. So the plows came by, missed my drive, missed my house. I did call the police. An officer was there right away. There's no front plate, there's no back plate. He knocks on the door. They tell him, oh yeah, there's a plate, but it's in the back window. So the officer had to go out there to the car, wipe all the snow off the window to get the plate. Then he goes back to the house, and the girlfriend says, it's the boyfriend's car, he's in Boston, they're gonna try and find keys to have it moved. So they did, about 9, 11 o'clock that night. They did have it moved. But the mess that they left, the next day, of course, when the plows came by, all this wound up on my driveway. It's just constant. I've been here before regarding the same neighbor. It straightens up. During COVID, it was really good. But now it's like back worse than ever. I can't live next to this.
No, and I assure you, I greatly appreciate you bringing that to our attention. Mark, can you raise your hand or stand up and you grab this young lady? And,
okay.
By all means, give him your address.
Okay.
I'll make certain Chief Arnold follows up with you guys as well, and we'll make certain everything's up to code and being done properly.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you for your time. Are there any additional citizens wishing to address the Village Board? All right, let's move into tonight's consent agenda. Number 1, approval of the regular meeting minutes, July 25, 2022. Approval of accounts payable in the amount of $299,522.25. Approval of a payment in the amount of $13,364.16 to Compass Materials for road salt. Number 4 is an approval of a payment in the amount of $15,339.20 to Everlast Portable Buildings for the Police Department Storage Building. Number 5 will be approval of a final payment in the amount of $13,965 to Integral Construction for Four Seasons Park Tennis Court refurbishment. Number 6, approval of a payment in the amount of $32,521.50 to Lane Christensen Company for work completed on well 8 rehabilitation. Number 7, approval of a payment in the amount of $11,419.45 to Tesco and Associates for Shorewood's comprehensive plan. And number 8, approval of a payment in the amount of $61,773.34 to Tria Architecture for work completed at the new public works facility. Is there any item a trustee has a question or needs any modifications to said consent? If not, I'll take a motion.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion Luciano, second Kirkland. Roll call, please.
Carol,
Yes.
Kirkland,
Yes.
Luciano,
Yes.
and Brockman.
Yes. All right, consent agenda is approved. Lana, any additional proclamations, mailings that we need to be aware of?
No, sir.
Thank you very much. All right, we're going to move into tonight's order of business. First up, we're going to do a promotion for Officer Danielle Malone to Police Sergeant. So if you please join me for a moment. I'll come down there. Actually, I'm going to run this way. And I state your name,
Hi, Danielle Malone.
having been appointed to the position of Police Sergeant
Having been appointed to the position of Police Sergeant
in the Police Department of the Village of Shorewood,
in the Police Department of the Village of Shorewood,
County of Will,
County of Will,
State of Illinois,
State of Illinois,
aforesaid,
aforesaid,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the ordinances of the Village of Shorewood,
and the ordinances of the Village of Shorewood,
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Well, congratulations. Feel free.
Okay.
The New York Times. There we go.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Congratulations. All right. Our next item under from our order of business, we do have a Citizens Award. It's going to be presented by Chief Arnold.
Good evening.
Good evening.
On January 17th, an incident occurred in a local business parking lot. Two would-be robbers staked out the lot waiting for a perfect victim. After nearly 3 hours, they found their prey and struck. One offender pulling an elderly female victim to the ground and struggling with her while taking her purse. At least 2 good Samaritans jumped into action at that time, Mr. Raymond Galvin and Miss Sandra Humphreys. Mr. Galvin gave chase on foot, catching the offender, at which time she threw the stolen purse at him, jumping into the waiting getaway car, and fled. Mr. Galvin then returned to the victim and rendered aid while waiting for an ambulance to arrive. Excuse me. Miss Humphreys then took over, safely following the getaway car and calling 911. She was able to successfully provide with turn-by-turn directions until short officers were able to stop the vehicle, excuse me, and take offenders into custody. Can you step up, please? Today we have one of those 2 good Samaritans with us, Ms. Sandra Humphreys. I'd like to read this award. Certificate of Appreciation presented to Ms. Sandra Humphreys. It is with admiration and sincere gratitude that the Chief of the Shorewood Police Department and members commend you for your actions on the 17th day of January 2022. You witnessed a citizen in distress and the victim of a crime by another. Without regard for your personal safety, you came to the citizen's aid and helped to thwart a robbery attempt and aid the successful apprehension of the robbers. You saved another person from potential harm and loss, and this deserves recognition of the Village of Shorewood. Your actions exemplify the values of community, humanity, and courage. They're some of the founding principles that define the idea of what it means to be a member of our community and a citizen of our nation. Your decision in time of trial for another to rise to the occasion and uncommon courage, which came with it, show a deep character and sense of compassion. This certificate is a small token of that sentiment given to you on behalf of the Shorewood Police Department. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And the other citizen, Raymond Galvin, will get his reward at a later date. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, moving on. Business item number 3, consideration for approval of a resolution repealing the moratorium on the enforcement of certain provisions of the Village of Shorewood temporary sign regulations. This is an item that's brought forward for first read. Kelly Chrissy.
Good evening. So this is really more of a cleanup item, a housekeeping item, if you will. So back in May of 2020, if you'll recall, the village board approved some temporary sign relief because the governor had put into place some restrictions that required closure or significant restriction of business activities. The village did extend the temporary relief, which had expired on the first ordinance in September of 2020. So that was extended. It was intended to live with the proclamation, the disaster proclamation. However, I don't believe that any of us thought that nearly 2 years after that, we would still be in the pandemic. So that disaster proclamation continues. However, the circumstances that existed at the time that the board implemented this relief no longer exist. So what we're asking is to repeal the ordinance and allow the temporary sign restrictions to be in place for all businesses. If you'll recall, we also did, during this time frame, allow increased temporary signs and improve the amount of time or extend the amount of time that temporary signs would be permitted. So what we're requesting is to basically repeal this ordinance and go back to our temporary sign regulations for all businesses.
And if the board is so inclined to repeal that temporary ordinance, any business that's in violation will be given 30 days notice that they need to rectify what signs are in violation, so.
Do we know of any that are still, they are, okay.
As, this is on a different topic, but I mean, the people that have areas set up for eating out in the parking lot, would that, have we addressed that yet?
We will be working to, I believe there's only one business that I'm aware of that has that circumstance, so we'll reach out to them and talk with them about bringing that into compliance as well.
No other questions? I will make a motion to approve a resolution repealing the moratorium on enforcement of certain provisions of the Village of Shorewood temporary sign regulations and waive the second read.
Second.
Motion Brockman, second Kirkland. Roll call, please.
Kirkland,
Yes.
Luciano,
Yes.
Brockman,
Yes.
and Carroll.
Yes.
All right, the previous resolution has been repealed. We will get notifications out to these businesses to make the corrections. Item number 4, consideration for approval of the purchase in the amount of $51,525 from Core and Main for census water meters and water meter accessories. Public Works Director Noriel Noriega.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening. So we purchase on an annual basis for water meters for the village water distribution system. We have an annual budget of approximately $100,000 per year. Now, if you recall, late last year, due to supply chain issues, obtaining some of these meters became difficult and adventurous challenge for itself. So with that, we paused, besides COVID-related concerns for staffing, we paused our water meter replacement, and we only replaced those that were unreadable at that time. So we currently have a small handful inventory of water meters. So the vendor, Core and Main, sole source vendor, had promised us that we were gonna be able to get 200 meters. So what you have before you is our request to purchase 200 meters to supply and provide inventory for our water meters. So we are asking recommendation to approve, or staff is recommendation to approve the purchase in the amount of $51,525 for census water meters from Core & Main. Any questions?
Norio, how long will these 200 meters last?
Well, we currently still have much of our water meter replacement program on hold. And so a lot of this would be based on commercial projects and maybe meters that are completely unreadable. We're hoping to get through the beginning of the year next year and probably about half a year.
All right, I know this was a budgeted item. How many more, any idea how many more we can attain?
Maybe
When the next allotment?
Maybe 400 by the end of the year.
400 total or 400 additional?
400 additional is what they're saying. We would like to have 600 total.
Okay. So we have the potential of being on track for what our expectation would be.
But there's no guarantee.
No guarantee, but we potentially
Yes.
could stay on track.
Yes. And then depending on COVID restrictions, we would restart our water meter replacement program.
Okay?
How many more do we have to go to get everybody up to the current meters?
We are approximately 60%, 2/3 of the town complete, so we need another 2,500 homes, residents to be replaced.
We've been replacing these for quite some time,
Small portions at a time, yeah.
because it seems like every year we're doing more and more.
Yep.
Our goal is usually approximately about 600 per year on our end. That's pushing staff. And a lot of this also requires appointments made by homeowners, so it does take time for them to schedule that with us.
So 4 or 5 more years possibly,
Correct.
if everything goes well.
Yes.
Okay. Any other questions?
I'll make a motion to approve the purchase in the amount of $51,525 from Core & Main for census water meters and water meter accessories.
I'll second.
Motion Luciano, second Carroll. Roll call, please.
Luciano,
Yes.
Brockman,
Yes.
Carroll,
Yes.
and Kirkland.
Yes.
Motion's approved. Item number 5, consideration for approval of the purchase proposal in the amount of $17,900.76 from Automotive Equipment Specialist for a Road Force Elite Wheel Balancer. Norio.
Thank you again.
It's a tongue twister. I'm not even going to try to say it again. Whoever motions it, I apologize. It's a tongue twister, just to get it out, so I apologize.
We'll just move, we won't say it.
So we're looking to purchase what we would consider normal routine equipment for our fleet maintenance garage. Now that we're going to be moving into a new facility, there's opportunity for us now to have room, and we're looking forward to purchase the Road Force Elite Wheel Balancer by Hunter Engineering. Our current fiscal year budget of the 2021 to 2022 can accommodate this purchase. Again, this is just for routine wheel and tire maintenance of all our vehicles, not the heavy equipment, just our normal equipment. We will be normal vehicles, such as PD squad cars and our pickup trucks. This will allow staff to be able to accomplish in-house versus local vendors. Staff is recommending the approval of the proposal from Automotive Equipment Specialists to purchase a Road Force Elite Wheel Balancer in the amount of $17,900.76. Any questions?
Just out of curiosity, how many times do you actually need to change tires?
It's recommended every 5 to 7,500 miles, depending on use of the vehicle.
So you're presently just bringing them, where do you bring them to get them changed now?
Depending on the vendor. So we used to take some to NTB, which is now Mavis. We've been also using Firestone and Goodyear in Joliet.
And what do they charge you to do it?
I'm sorry, I don't have that information on how much it per vehicle. for
Oh,
tire,
per a tire, or one vehicle, you don't know that?
not for the wheel balancing, no.
No, I'm just curious, because you've been doing it this long, and the other question I did have about it, and I'm sure there's gonna be other equipment, since we're moving into a new public works building that we're gonna wanna replace or add that we don't have. How much more do you anticipate we're gonna need to purchase?
Well, we have the lift. So far, this is it. You know, we just requested the purchase, we just purchased the tire changer equipment. So this would be for the wheel balancing. I don't have anything else listed for fleet equipment.
Well, I was mainly thinking about equipment for public works, other than like the furniture and things you're buying, maybe equipment that's older there that you want to put new in a new building. You foresee anything?
Nothing yet.
I think we did some of that when we upgraded the lifts, the air compressor system. Those were some of the other big ticket items that we needed to accomplish in that regard. These other couple, as we did the tire changer and the balancer, are a couple of new items that we haven't had the luxury of being able to do in-house. This at least allows our staff to do it versus taking it out and using a third-party vendor.
I'll make a motion for approval of the purchase proposal in the amount of $17,976 from Automotive Equipment Specialist for Road Force Elite Wheel Balancer Equipment. I don't have my glasses on.
Motion Luciano,
Pretty good.
second Kirkland. Roll call, please.
Brockman,
Yes.
Carroll,
Yes.
Kirkland,
Yes.
and Luciano.
Yes.
All right, items approved.
Thank you.
I was honestly waiting for you just to say number 5. All right, so moving on, number 6 and 7 are kind of in your packet together, just so everybody's aware. Item number 6 is consideration for approval of the purchase and payment in the amount of $81,123.81 for a John Deere 5100E utility tractor from Shorewood Home and Auto. Norio.
Thank you again, Mayor. So we're looking to purchase, approval to purchase a new John Deere utility tractor, 5100E. I apologize, in my memo that was supplied in paragraph 3, it referenced a 5410, which was the existing one that we currently have. So just to clarify, we are looking to purchase the John Deere 5100E utility tractor. So we do have 2 John Deeres currently in our fleet. The oldest one is a 1999. It has approximately 2,800 hours on it, and it is relatively in good shape. It's still currently serving us, but it just doesn't quite have the horsepower that is needed to run many of our equipment. So, for example, the 16-foot batwing mower, currently the conveyor belt, staff has difficulties, the efficiency, so what we end up having to do when we're running those pieces of equipment, we can only do quarter to half loads at a time as we supply. So loading the dome just becomes a long, tedious burden for staff. So we're looking for a piece of equipment that can run it at full force. So the new 5100E John Deere tractor does have approximately 800 horsepower. It is a tractor that is currently on site over at Shorewood Home and Auto, and with the difficulties of obtaining it due to supply chain issues, we were lucky. So we are able to accommodate this within our budget. So I will be also asking for approval for purchase and payment for a 3-point boom mower. So this will allow staff, as an attachment to this John Deere tractor, to be able to mow hard-to-reach areas such as riverbanks, deep ditches and such. And those hard-to-reach areas where we would normally have staff using hand tools to weed whack locations that we just can't reach with equipment. This will allow more efficiency with our staff. So I'm asking for 2 actions on this. The first one is to approve and purchase, purchase and payment of a John Deere 5100E utility tractor from Shorewood Home and Auto in the amount of $81,123.81. And I'm also asking for a recommendation for approval to purchase and payment for a 3-point boom mower from Bonnell Equipment in the amount of $26,382.30. Any questions?
Noriel,
Yes.
This tractor that we're looking to purchase, you had already mentioned Short Home, it all happens to have one. What is the likelihood of finding another one of these?
A second John Deere would be very difficult. We made a couple phone calls to the other local distributor, Western. They're still hunting for one.
Right, and the price that's being provided is off the state bid from the Sourcewell
Yes,
procurement?
yes. The actual list price for the piece of equipment would be $96,195.77.
Okay, so we're getting state bid pricing.
Yes, sir.
Does that apply to your boom mower?
It's also a Sourcewell pricing, yes.
Okay.
I been looking for this mower for about 10 years, and looks like we finally got it, but I'm a little bit concerned after I spoke to you the other day about it. It's hooked on the back end, so does that, maybe you or Jim knows, does that mower move forward so when a guy's driving it, the mower's gonna be right here, or is he gonna be looking back for 7 hours?
I don't have that answer for you, sir. I'd have to get back in touch with you if that's the case. I don't operate the piece of
Because
equipment.
a mid-mount with the weight on the side, then your mower would be right here, and the operator could easily see, you know, if it needs to go up or down, or in or out, and
What I do know is that when we were looking for the piece of equipment, this is the piece of equipment that staff recommended to my office for our needs for our three-point boom mower. I didn't ask if it was a mid-mount or a rear mount. It's the one that they had asked for.
Is this hard to get? In other words, do we have to bid on the mower tonight?
The mower, yes. As a courtesy, Bonnell has been asking whether or not we can guarantee the purchase, otherwise they want to sell it. We had indicated that I'll find out tonight. So if we pause, then there's a good chance that we may not get it.
Well, I'm glad we're gonna get it, but I hope it doesn't occur, but I'm just thinking of, with my advanced age, if I had to look back there for 7 hours, and it wouldn't be that much fun, but let's go ahead and get it and see if
Okay?
these younger crew can work on it a little better than I could, so.
I appreciate that, but I don't want to stress that this is, all or nothing. If it is truly what you want us to look into, I'll pause on the purchase. It may not happen this year, out of this budget.
My question would be and I don't know if you know this, in this model tractor, does it have the swivel seat to accommodate to what trustee
Well, that
Brockman-
would help a lot if it did.
Right,
I
I
didn't
do know
think
they
about-
make though, I do know that is a
I didn't think
thing
about
in
that.
tractors where they do have swivel seats.
Oh, the bigger ones do.
Right, and I don't know if,
Be looking forward to drive it? You can't be looking both places.
well,
I'm just asking.
no, but it,
Swivel it this way, then the thing's going by itself.
it would just swivel 45, so the driver could still see forward, but yet it's a happy medium so the operator can see out the back.
Don't they have mirrors that you put on those?
They have those too. So,
Forgive me, I don't operate.
up for, it's an item that's up for consideration for the board.
I don't operate the piece of equipment. I would watch other people operate it. So I apologize. I wish I knew that answer.
No, I don't think it's a problem. The mirrors could probably solve it, or, like you said, the swivel chair. But I wouldn't want someone just to be turned around driving.
Sure.
I'll make a motion to approve the purchase and payment in the amount of $81,123.81 for a John Deere 5100E utility tractor, in addition to the purchase and payment in the amount of $26,382.30 of a three-point boom mower from Bonnell Industries from Shorewood Home and Auto. We could do it all in the same motion, right?
We can do it on the same.
Second.
Motion Luciano, second Carol. Roll call, please.
Carol,
Yes.
Kirkland,
Yes.
Luciano.
Yes.
And Brockman.
Yes.
All right.
You?
You got a tractor.
Thank you very much.
Item number 8, consideration for approval of a resolution granting an easement to Nicor at 26,000 West Mound Road in the village of Shorewood, County, Illinois. This is at the Mound Road Water Tower. Kelly Christie's up.
Good evening. So during the construction of the Public Works facility, Nicor has been working with staff and has identified that the preferred connection for the gas service is from the west property line. And so they have requested that the village grant an easement, a utility easement, to make that service connection. So this is just a housekeeping item to ensure that the Public Works facility has gas service. Happy to answer any questions.
Is that only enough for that facility, or will that line continue on north to that next subdivision?
I believe the line is already existing. Let's see if,
Is there already one on Sile Road there?
There is already gas service off Sile Road, and there is a partial main that does head north along our west property line of the water tower, and that's where they're gonna extend the main to, from.
Okay, good.
So yes, that would continue on northerly,
Okay,
would be my assumption.
thank you.
I move to approve a resolution granting an easement to Nicor at 2600 West Mound Road in the village of Shorewood, Will County, Illinois. The Mound Road Water Tower.
Second.
Motion Kirkland, second Carroll. Roll call, please.
Kirkland.
Yes.
Luciano.
Yes.
Brockman.
Yes.
And Carroll.
Yes.
And so it's read into the record properly. It's 26,000 West Mound Road. I think I said 2,600, but it's 26,000 West
Okay.
Mound Road. So I just want to make certain that was
When
clear.
can they get that in? I forgot to ask.
Noriel, when might they start that installation?
We have no schedule from Nicor yet. They'll be submitting permits to our office shortly thereafter this approval.
Thank you. Number 9, consideration for approval of a resolution authorizing jurisdictional boundary line agreement between the village of Shore and the village of Shanahan. Aaron Klima. This is really, I'm just going to cut right in. This is really a housekeeping issue. We're not changing the boundary agreement. It's been the same boundary agreement, center line of I-80 since about 1970. So all we're doing,
76 from what we heard last night,
all right,
right?
76. So we're still using the center line of I-80. We'll just update the one that we've got with the village of Shanahan. If there's any questions, Aaron or myself can address. I'll take a motion.
I move to approve a resolution authorizing a jurisdictional boundary line agreement between the village of Shorewood and the village of Shanahan.
Second.
Motion Kirkland, second Luciano. Roll call, please.
Luciano.
Yes.
Brockman.
Yes.
Carroll.
Yes.
And Kirkland.
Yes.
All right, boundary agreement's extended, and for the record, Shanahan approved it on their end last night, so. Item number 10, consideration for approval of proposal in the amount not to exceed $80,000 from Warehouse Direct Office Interiors for office furniture at the new Public Works facility. Noriel.
Thank you again. So I need furniture for the new building. So the Public Works facility is scheduled to be completed by the end of April by contract. There is going to be a little bit of delay, but they have not officially provided any extension or request for extensions on the contract due to weather delays. The furniture that we're requesting is economical, contemporary, commercial grade style, modern looking. It is government pricing. It is also a vendor that we currently use or we have utilized for our police department. It's Warehouse Direct. This budget is included in the overall budget for the Public Works facility. We have a budget in that line item for $75,000 in our budget. The price from them for all of the furniture, desks, chairs, and cubicles and such is in the amount of $75,910.19. Staff is recommending that we approve the proposal from Warehouse Direct Office Interiors for Public Works furniture in the amount not to exceed $80,000 to cover any missed tables or chairs that we were not able to foresee. Any questions?
Make a motion to approve of a proposal in the amount of not to exceed $80,000 from Warehouse Direct Office Interiors for office furnitures at the new Public Works facility.
Second.
Motion Luciano, second Kirkland. Roll call, please.
Brockman,
Yes.
Carroll, Kirkland,
Yes.
and Luciano.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, proposal's approved. Business item number 11, consideration for approval of an ordinance authorizing an execution of a contract by and between the Village of Shorewood and the Illinois Municipal Corporation and Waste Management Southwest, a division of Waste Management of Illinois. This item is up for first read. Administrator Klima.
So we've talked at length about going out to bid for a new garbage contract. At the recommendation of our current vendor, Waste Management, we went out to bid. We had a pre-bid conference. We had several people in attendance. In the end, we received 4 bids. Those 4 bids are outlined in Director Noriega's memo. Those articulate the cost differences between the two. As you can see, not only is Waste Management the low bidder, they're the sole bidder that bid for 1-day service per week, which was our preference. All of the other companies wanted multiple days of pickup per week, which we've discussed at length before why that's problematic, or not at least to our preference. Over the last several weeks, Director Noriega, Attorney Dave Silverman, and I have engaged in multiple conversations with Waste Management, which came to complete fruition today, which is the result of this document, the clean document you have before you. It has, withstood all the scrutiny we have for financing, for the liability issues, all of the operational indemnification issues that we have. I'm able to take any questions that you may have about it.
Just for reference, my sister lives out in the country. She has Waste Management. And it looks like our bill year one will be $25.49.
Correct.
And she's at $61 per month now, out in the country.
Economy of scale, I guess, yeah.
Is what?
This is probably economy of scale, less travel and
Oh,
all
yeah,
that. So.
yeah. But, so if you're not thinking you're getting a good deal, I would say it's a pretty good deal. So.
We scrutinized everything very heavily. We had a couple of close bidders, but upon analysis, when you add in all of the factors, from the discounted rate to the extra bulk items to the e-waste and all the other things, this is by far the most economical deal for our residents.
They do a great job, I think, so. Any other questions? If there's not, I'll make a motion to approve ordinance authorizing the execution of a contract by and between the Village of Shorewood and Illinois Municipal Corporation and Waste Management Southwest, a division of Waste Management, and waive the second read.
Second.
Motion Brockman, second Kirkland. Roll call, please.
Carroll,
Yes.
Kirkland,
Yes.
Luciano,
Yes.
and Brockman.
Yes.
Contract to be executed. Moving into reports. Building. Thank you. Community development.
Just a real brief update on the comprehensive plan. The consultant team was here last week and held 5 focus group discussions. They did receive some commentary from the groups and the participants. There was lots of compliments to the village as well as within the village, but there were also some criticisms. And the reason I say that and bring that up is that the consultants actually learn a lot from some of the criticisms that people bring forward. And so those will be rolled into this process as we learn more, as well as the comments that are being received on the website. The other thing, just to kind of lay out, we had discussions with regional partners, taxing bodies, local businesses, farmers, and then residential developers. So the consultant team is reaching out to a couple of participants that weren't able to join the conversation, so they'll be trying to wrap that up by the end of this week. The result of the focus groups as well as their existing analysis is going to come forward as an existing conditions report, which will be presented to the steering committee in the next couple of weeks. I hope to confirm that date by the end of this week. And then we're also looking to schedule a joint Planning and Zoning Commission meeting and a board meeting together where that'll be presented. So you'll be seeing the consultants here probably in the next few weeks. That is all.
Any questions? Thank you. Finance? Oh, don't be fooling. So I assure you, Ann, we have been keeping Ann relatively busy with budget documents and sending that entire department back and forth with double check this number, look at this number, and every which way. So you guys will be receiving budget documents here within the week for next week's meeting, but don't be humbled. Parks. I don't think there was anything going on from what they told me, though. Okay, thank you. Police, Chief Arnold? Thank you. I'm still breathing. That's my report. Perfect.
We're thankful for that.
Public Works.
Thank you, Mayor. So I'll be quick. Much of it for the last couple of weeks has been just snow removal response. So we did last week have the big event where we were inundated with approximately 12 inches of snow. That event by itself, we used approximately about 180 tons of salt. So for the season so far, we're just under 1,100 tons of salt. We've used almost 12,750 gallons of liquid. Liquid is an accelerant to salt, and we also use it for anti-icing operations where you see the lines on the pavement. We've plowed almost 11,000 miles between all of our plow trucks. Our Public Works facility is approximately 52% complete. ComEd is scheduled. It was delayed by 1 week because of the snow event last week, so they are now setting a new pole and getting ready to bore under mound to start running the electric service for our facility. And the roof is ongoing. So as you can see, many of the roofers are on top. It's good weather right now. Much of it is weather dependent. We'd like to see it being installed at 20 degrees and rising. And we're at the 30, 35, 40 degree mark almost. So they're ongoing, and it looks nice. Our well number 8 project is ongoing. We did go out to the site just yesterday to view our column pipe, view the pump bowl assembly, and we were peeked at the motor. The motor assembly will be ready to be taken apart and serviced and ready for our inspection tomorrow. Everything is starting to look good. The only thing that they've identified some issues with is with the pump bowl assembly. So for the most part, it does not look, knock on wood 3 times, that the motor needs to be replaced. It will only be serviced. But the bowl assembly will need to be most likely replaced, or a significant portion of it. That is in the bids. Already we do have a bid price for it, and we'll have more of a full report shortly once Lane finishes their final inspection of all the pieces. And we got word that last night Shanahan now approved the resolution to join the commission, so we are now 5. Any questions?
How much snow? I'm just going to ask Aaron. You had a better report than 12.
A little less than 11.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry.
For the snow.
He's into the weather, so I just figured.
Tom's right-hand man.
I just figured I'd ask. If there's no other questions for Noriel, we'll move on.
When I tell the story again, there'll be 14 inches next.
I know, that's why we figured we'd just stop it right there, so, thank you.
Thank you.
Administrator Klima.
No report.
All right, Trustee Brockman.
Thank you, Mayor. Our February meeting for planning and zoning was canceled because of the weather. So those 2 agenda items will go to our March 2nd meeting. And that's my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Carroll.
I know it probably gets old, but compliments to Public Works and the snow removal. I mean, I've talked to other people, and they can't get over how well Shorewood is clean compared to some of the other towns.
No. Trustee Kirkland.
Thank you. I concur. You can tell as soon as you leave town that you've left the village and,
Yeah.
and you're no longer in Shorewood Plow Department, but, and also to the police department for all the extra they did during our snow event. I appreciate that. And also congratulations to Danielle on her promotion. I like that stuff is at the board meeting. It's good to bring some positive stuff for the public eye. So that's all I have.
Thank you. And trustee Luciano.
At the last Citizens Advisory Committee, we had 19 members in attendance who participated with Tesla and Associates on the comprehensive plan. They had quite a bit of discussion and went over very well. So just wanted to let everyone know that. And lastly, our next meeting will be February 24th here at the Village Hall at 7 p.m. That's all I have.
Thank you. Take a motion to go into executive session to discuss personnel to consider the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees and land acquisition.
So moved.
Motion Kirkland,
Second.
second Carroll. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, we're going to go into executive.
You have to do a roll call on that. Can you do
Oh,
a
all
roll
right,
call
I'll
on that,
need a
please,
roll
Mayor?
call for that one. I was trying to
Kirkland.
move it along.
Luciano,
Yes.
Brockman,
Yes.
and Carroll.
Yes.
All right, we're in executive session. Video side, and we'll just put you on a speakerphone.
Okay, you want to call myself?
Yep, we'll call you, thank you.
Okay.
There'll be no, and for the record, there'll be no action taken after executive. We will adjourn from executive. So, and then we're just going to have all staff leave. That way.